Hey friends, Roger Christofferson here again with another Overlooked Gems. If you really want to listen to somebody, you have that craving, and you just want to hear somebody babble about a band that they love, well, you're lucky because that's about what I'm what I'm about to do. Man, if I just get that would have been funnier if I'd actually said it straight, but I couldn't do it. So anyway, gonna babble about Alias today. This is a band that is made up of two different bands. It was a couple of the guys from the band Sheriff, that was a Canadian band, which is funny. The one of the guys in the band I was in, like way back in the early '90s, we were hired to record some music for somebody's wedding song, and it was that Sheriff song, "When I'm With You," and I ended up liking that so much that I used it as my wedding song for my first wedding. Unfortunately, the marriage didn't last quite as long as the history of the song, but that's another story altogether. And then the rest of the band is made up from the guys from the band Heart, pretty much. So I remember when this album first came out. It had that perfect blend. Most of the stuff I'm talking about is from back in the day, and if you can hear me probably fumbling through, the cassette, because that's what I have here, the cassette version of it. I actually have this on CD somewhere, but the cassette one was much more easier for me to grab on EMI Records. I could probably just go on the internet and find all this stuff, but it seems more authentic fumbling through the cassette jacket here, if that's what you can call these things. I don't know, but I just remember when this came out, just how I was just in love with Fred Kirchy, I think that's how you say it, is singing on it, and the music on it is like heavy AOR, I guess is what I'd call it. It's kind of like the rock from Heart, actually, because Heart was a pretty rockin' band, and then Sheriff was more of an AOR band, I think, and they kind of combined really well. I just think the style that they came up with. They did one other album too, and for the life of me, you'll probably not remember what that one's called. I think it's been released a couple different times, different names. And I have it, and I cannot think of what the name of it is, but it didn't quite hit quite as hard as this one did. This one I've actually listened to. I don't even know how many times I could tell you. I remember a couple of the big hits on this one I used to hear on the radio like all the time. I wish I could remember what that ballad, which one it was, came out first, but Haunted Heart, I believe, was the first single off of this one. I just remember hearing, I think it was pretty much that was the one I had heard on the radio first before I even knew this album was out. Heard that, and Fred hits those super high notes, and I just remember it was always just fun popping this in and just driving around, just trying to see if I could hit all those notes. And it was just one of those, he just had to do it, like I think almost every song he had to throw one of those in there. And most everything on here is a hit for me. There's a couple that were like, but only a couple. Most of these songs on here I actually really liked. There's one called The Power, which was a little bit too, I don't know, Chicago-y sounding for me, I guess. I don't know. And I don't know. That's probably about it. One More Chance was okay. Actually, that's got Fee Waybill. I'm just kind of reading all the freaking stuff on it now. In the middle of doing, the recording, this is the best time I picked to start reading all this stuff. But anyway, I remember hearing that song, The Haunted Heart, went out and got the album, and I was so happy that it sounded like that. So sometimes you buy albums and they don't actually, sound anything like what the single is. Well, this is one of those bands that, just actually, just lived up to. There's the ballad off of here that More Than Words Can Say. That's one of the ones. It was a good song, but I got kind of sick of hearing it because they played that one on the radio like all the time. And the rest of the album was just so much heavier. I mean, this is one. Don't get me wrong, it's not heavy, but it rocks when it needs to. Some of the highlights for me, like the first three songs on here, just I think are great. It's just Say What I Want to Say, Haunted Heart, and Waiting for Love. I really like them. And I'm just kind of reading now. It's got B. Walker listed as writing credits for Waiting for Love. I wonder if that's Butch. I have to probably check into that. But anyway, What to Do, another great song on here. And then it ends with two, I think, killer songs, True Emotion and Standing in the Darkness. Just a couple of cool rock songs. After All the Love Is Gone, that was a good one too. humming these songs in my head as I'm listening to it. I listen to this album so many times. I probably listened to this 60, 70 times, I swear. And it's just one of those ones I could pop back in right now and I could probably sing every single word to it. But check it out for yourselves. Don't always rely on the singles because, like I said, the one ballad is not really representative of the rest of the album. It's actually a little bit more rockin' than that. That was the rest of the album has actually got a pretty cool rock edge to it. It doesn't get too heavy. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't get super heavy, but it rocks out like in a few different spots, and it's got just a cool pure. His vocal style is that very pure. Like Steve Perry in his earlier days with no rasp or anything in there. It's just a very pure, high sounding vocal. It does, sometimes that turns people off, but he does have quite a bit of emotion in his singing. He feels what he sings too, but he can still hit those killer high notes without, it just sounds effortless, which is just fun to listen to. I mean, I can hit those notes, but it's definitely not effortless. So anyway, tell me what you think. And as always, like, share, and subscribe to keep this music alive, because this is just one of those bands that, as always, I just think somebody should check it out and just listen to it. But tell me what you think. Until next time, see ya.